Thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing video, and today's a special one. It's episode number 900. And today, we're going to go back in time to 2012. Today, we're going to talk about Sedition Wars, Infinite Space, Undying Terror, Battle for Alabaster, brought to you by Student McVeigh and Cool Mini or Not. Now, of course, I never backed this on Kickstarter. I never had it as part of my collection. No, let me restate that. I had bits and pieces from it. I had the game boards. I had a couple of the tokens that I had picked up somewhere, and I never had a copy of this game. So someone on Facebook Live or something had it, or Facebook Marketplace, I should say, had it for a very, very cheap price. I think it was 25 bucks. And I said to myself, I don't have it in my collection. I never played it. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about it. I know that Simon puts out a lot of really good games, but this is going back to 2012. So, it might have been one of their first games they released on Kickstarter, and I really didn't know much about it. But I said, let me give it a shot and let me find out what this is all about. So, like I said, I invested into the 25 bucks or whatever it was, and I picked it up and it was brand new, so I'm very, very happy. Somebody was just trying to dump it, so get it out of their collection, and now it's part of mine. So anyway, again, we have Sedition Wars, Infinite Space, Undying Terror in the Battle for Alabaster, again by Student McVeigh, Cool Mini or Not. A fast-paced, visceral, tactical miniatures game for 2 players, so that's cool. All right. And it's a rather large box, as you can tell, but let's see what it says here on the back. It says, Alabaster Station, a maze of habitats and layers of scientific research levels. It says, Sedition Wars, Battle for Alabaster, is a fast-paced, visceral, tactical miniatures game for 2 players, a survival horror encounter rooted in a vast science fiction universe. Gameplay is fast and bloody, creating urgency and catastrophic terror as the Vanguard fight for their very lives against an unrelenting menace. Players take the role of either the Vanguard, brave soldiers of humanity, or the Strain, a twisted and terrifying biotechnological horror. Only one side will be triumphant. Okay, all the things are included in the box, and then we got lots of pictures, so if you want to paint them up, tell you I had a painting guide on the back here, see what they're supposed to look like. The following miniatures are included. Again, it's a 2-player game. It takes about 60 to 90 minutes to play. It's for ages 12 plus, and this was released in 2012 by Studio McVeigh. Of course, for more information, you can go to coolminiornot.com, studentmcveigh.com, and seditionwars.com. All right, so let's crack this bad boy open and see what kind of goodness we have on the inside. Like I said to you, it was a brandy spanking new game, so I'm very happy about that as always. So put that to the side, and we'll start off with a pretty thick tome right here. This is, this is a pretty big book right here. Again, it's Sedition Wars, Battle for Alabaster. Gives you a little information about the prologue and everything here. Now, this is the second edition of this game, not the first edition, because I believe there were some flaws, like the game boards warped and everything else, and so it was released in 2012. Then they reissued it again, and it had new game boards, new tokens, and stuff like that. The rules and everything were exactly the same, but they changed some stuff up to make the packaging a little better and stronger. And so I'm glad I got the second edition. Again, Student McVeigh, Cool Mini or Not. A little bit of background about a little fluff about our Vanguard troops. Got your introduction, survival horror, the game. Sedition Wars Battle for Alabaster is intended to be a 2-player game. Players create a game board from scenic map tiles to build the battlefield or moat and overrun facility in a secluded region of space. Each player takes on the role of one of the forces clashing in the facility. One player takes the elite Vanguard, and the other takes on the role of the infectious Strain. Let's read up here, just give you a little bit more fluff about the introduction. Okay, a tactical science fiction horror game. Hardened interstellar soldiers, the Vanguard, have arrived at a remote research outpost in order to find out the nature of a disastrous outbreak. Within the confines of the halls and laboratories of the research station waits a new enemy for the Vanguard. Intelligent, virulent, and driven by an ancient alien intellect, the strain are a construct of bioorganic machines. The ancient menace has awoken with long dormant survival instincts reactivated and enhanced by nanotechnological tampering. Now unleashed, it has become a threat that will not be contained by the facility for long. As the strain begins to learn, it also adapts and absorbs knowledge at an exponential rate. Once it becomes fully aware, it will only crave escape from its confines and out into the war-torn Alabaster sector. So like it says, survival horror game. You have the two teams, basically the Vanguard and the Strain. And there's an example of the two of those. The contents of the box gives you a nice little layout, which we're going to show you right now. You have the board sections, the models, the dice, rolling dice modifiers, open rolls, tactical data cards, damage staging, vectors, areas of effect, special rules. Again, gives you diagrams showing you exactly how everything works, which is always helpful. You've got tactical data cards, size references, mobility, defense, wound track, wounds, evolution costs, tactical unit costs, attacks. Playing the game, you have game rounds, active mode, reflex mode. You've got taking actions, gives you examples of play, movement. You've got doors, airlock, standard doors, pressing through, windows, attacking. You select the attack, example of play, lots of examples, which I always love. Selecting the attack, determining range, determining the attack vector, determining range, roll to hit, and dealing damage, obviously. And it gives you a diagram of what that's all about, and it also gives you a multitude of examples of how this is done. Applying attack effects, removing models, combat modifiers, firing in close range, close combat, prone targets, abilities, free abilities, focused abilities, attack abilities, movement abilities, ability costs, some more examples and of play, more diagrams, status effects, of course your different markers that you're going to have in the game, which are bleeding, burning, corrosion. You've got singularity, infection bases. You got rad, crush, inversion, prone. You got the strain infection. Setting up the game, picking a scenario, placing boards, placing objective markers, where you're going to be deploying from, and then you're generating the force, who you're going to be battling with, deploying forces, and of course the victory conditions. You have missions, you have objectives, free objectives, and ordered objectives, which are all different. Then it goes into a little background about who each of the two different factions are. Of course, you have the Vanguard, great artwork as always, and beautifully painted figures. Playing the Vanguard gives you main characters: Cara Black, Corpsman Morgan Vade. So you got Captain Cora Black, Morgan Vade as a corpsman, Operator Akosha Nama, and Specialist Barker Zosa. Then you have your Samaritan troopers. You got Hurley. Gives you a little background fluff about everything, how they work, special Vanguard rules, strategic points, auto dock, havoc, defense gun emplacement, life support terminals, security terminals, teleportation control, strategy and tactics. Again, rolling along with all that stuff. Then we go into the strain, who they are, the background information about them. Of course, some great photos of different kinds of ways that you can paint them up. Playing the strain, the nanospore, necroform, the revenant, exoform stalkers, exoform quasimodo, phase 3 exoform scythe witch, and of course the exoform the brimstone. So that's one thing that's cool and different about this game, is that these characters based on this nanospore up here. So these spores come around here and they change them from here. So they're the Revenant are always evolving. So they start here and they move here and they move there. So, you know, it tells you the different phases for the different characters. So that's really cool. That's really cool. Okay, so we're going to continue moving on. More information here. The strain, nanospores, moving the counters, level 4 infection status. The other thing too is that if these spores, your guy gets hurt, he can become one of these creatures as well. So that's cool too. Special rules, evolving forms. Okay, more information. Strain strategic points, necrocyst, exocyst, gestation vent, microphage, and a spore engine. Again, some more cool artwork for you. Some cool minis that are all painted up. I can never paint that well. So then we got a glossary here of terms. And then we've got, after that, we got a bunch of entering the fray. So there's what it would look like with your game boards all set up, which is cool. Of course, then you have your strategic different scenarios you have. Your theme, scenario, Vanguard strategic scenario, head-to-head strategic scenario. You're gonna roll a die. Trigger happy, overrun, quarantine, VIP, deathmatch, hazard duty, extraction, kill count, door crusher, hitman. Special board tiles, the gantry, the reactor room. I like that. That's the first time I think in a rulebook that I've seen where they actually describe each of the different rooms and tells you what they're all about. The station, that's cool. The counters, of course, they always explain to you what those are, but normally they don't explain to you what the tiles are. So that's pretty cool that they do that. All right, so we got the outbreak campaign. You got structure of the scenarios, mission briefs, information from some fluff from Captain Cara Black. Tells you exactly how to set up, and all of them are set up the same way. Outbreak scenario 1, breach, Vanguard mission, strain mission, scenario deployment, special conditions in deployment, and there you go. Outbreak scenario 2, steel beachhead, again set up exactly the same way. Special conditions and deployment, you got the firewalls, different things. Scenario 3, terminal station. Again, your special rules and conditions for and where you deploy. Ticket or die for scenario 4. Car 1, car 2. So those are transports. I always wonder what those were. Like I said, I had purchased a box with just the tokens, no figures, just the tokens and the tiles, because I just wanted the tiles so I could use them for different games and stuff. And but I never had the whole box. So I'm very happy that I picked this up. Aero scenario, halfway home. Again, it's all set up exactly the same way. They have outbreak scenario 6, the tactical retreat. Again, digging the artwork. Scenario 7, 3 trigger Monty. There's your little robot friend again. That plan of attack has a 76 probability of failing. Fantastic. Just what we love to hear. Critical mass. Okay, the way the maps are set up. Scenario 9, into the void. And void deployment. Again, a little bit more fluff. Give you a flavor. Arms of Sorrow. Don't know if it ever came out. Not quite sure. Again, more fluff in the back. And there you go. Sedition Wars. Again, for more information, go to studymcveigh.com, seditionwars.com, and coolminiornot.com, or cmon.com as well. There you go. So that's your rule book. So like I said, let me just go back to the box real quick. So as I was saying before, everything is sealed up in its original packaging, which makes me very, very happy when I pick this up. So as you guys know, I always open everything up on the side. So I'll give you a second here, come off camera. because you know, when I use my blade, I like to use it off camera, because if I do slip and I do cut myself, nobody wants to see that on camera, least of all me. So there we go. Okay, so we're getting this open here. It's a nice shrink wrap open. It's a very big game. The box is very, very big, and sometimes so it's hard to fit into the entire screen. So again, we're going to start this off, move this over here for a second. So we're going to start. So let's take a look at some of these. Again, high quality, very high quality that you've come to know and love from CMON. So again, I don't know if this was the first Kickstarter they had. I'm not quite sure, but I'd be curious to find out if that's true. That's one of those cars they were talking about. Some blast templates. Again, all the icons are explained in detail going through the core rulebook. Very colorful, and the backs are the same, except for the car where there's nothing on there. Okay, again, that pops right out very easily, as you can tell. And that's how you know it's good quality, because it goes right back in. If I can fit it in there. Oh, there you go. Fits right back in, and there's no problems. So there you go. That's your first board of tokens. Here's your rulebook. Your second set, or there's your second car, and here are your more of your tokens. Tokens are very colorful, very nice. Again, backs are the same as the fronts. Again, all these icons will be explained to you in more detail, of course, in the core rulebook. And then we have our game boards. Now, what I'm going to have to do is check out what I previously purchased and wonder if those game boards are the same as these, because I don't remember having one of these. That's really cool. The airlock doors. These are things that you have to move over. And line of sight gets blocked if you're real close up. It's like they're ducking down to it. If they're over here, you can shoot over it, depending on the size of the characters, obviously. Okay, that's passable terrain, passable terrain. There's one board. Board number 2. Big door down there. It's very, very cool. I believe these do look a bit different from what I had previously. So again, we're gonna have to do a little bit of investigation. Very cool how everything is all torn up inside. Obviously really captures the feel of what the game intends to be, that you're on a space station, everything's been destroyed, which is very cool. And of course, you could always use these game boards for anything else, anything from Starfinder to the RPG, to Aliens, the RPG as well. So you can use these for not just Sedition Wars, but you can use these boards for anything else that you'd like to use it for. That's why sometimes when you have a Kickstarter, you have the opportunity to buy the extra set of boards. Sometimes I'll do that, sometimes I won't, depending on the mood and what the pricing on it is. So again, there's your game board again. These are high quality. So what I read and what I've seen on other unboxing videos and other commentary about Sedition Wars, that these boards originally, when they were pressed, and I guess in the first edition, they were very, very warped. It does not appear to be so, at least not yet, shall we say, in this box, not yet. But they look quite flat to me and look quite good. But again, I'll have to play the game a couple times to really know whether or not the boards are going to warp. But usually the boards I get from CMON, usually there may be a little bit of a bump or bulge in them, but they usually work just fine. And this game, just by reading it a little bit, kind of reminds me of Doom, which I believe came out after this game. I'm gonna believe, or maybe before. Again, not Doom the video game, but the board game that's based on the first edition and second edition that came out a while back. Check back in videos, I did unboxing for both versions of that game also as well on my channel here. But again, I saw this on Facebook Marketplace. I never had it in my collection other than some of the tokens and the boards. So I figured I'd pick it up and try the game out actually for real. And science fiction is really my, I want to say, calling. As you know, Zombicide released a science fiction game as well, so it does remind me of this quite a bit. And again, it reminds me of Doom the board game as well. So but this seems to be really high quality. Really like what I got here for the purchase price. And so right there, that's all your game boards and your tokens. So there's your game boards and your tokens. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess 5 game boards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course they're double-sided. And you get your tokens as well. So I'll move the tokens over a little bit here just so you see everything that you get. All right, so there you go. You get your game boards, your tokens, and of course your core rulebook. And then you get your boxes of miniatures. And your boxes of miniatures, so obviously CMON developed as time has gone by. They have lots of figure sets by now, as you guys are well aware, and they are now basically, you don't have to put anything together. Well, in this game you have to put them together. So let's just take a look before we hit the figures. So you get a set of D6s. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 8 die, or 8 dice, should I say? Nice. So maybe take those out and roll them. But there you go. You got 8 of those. You've got bases. Okay. We open everything out. You got all kinds of bases in there. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. Nice. So that's for your larger creatures, obviously. And we have bases for the smaller characters. So again, I'm not going to take a while because they're all pretty much look like the same. Oh, no, looks like some of the bases are different. So let's see what we got here. And you get a ton of them, as you can tell. A ton of them. So I'm just trying to get you a couple of the different ones. You got one there, looks like that. This one's a little different too. All right, that's cool. So you get to pick which kind of bases you want to put in. All right, that's the same. Got one with like a circle pattern on it. So I'm not sure if the bases are specific to what kind of character they go on. I'm not sure. It's another base. That's another different variation on the bases. There's another one. So it gives you a lot of variations, which is really actually very cool. Again, all of them have the slots in the back. And I'll show you that in a little bit, because what happens is when they get infected, it tells you what stage they're on. So if your guy gets wounded and he starts getting the infection in him, they're going to change, they're going to mutate. So that's what that's on there for, which is cool. See if I'm just looking around to see if there's any other different kind of bases that I didn't show you. Okay, that's the back of it. Nope, and that's about it. All right, so it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different kinds of bases. This one again is like this one here, but again, all the bases have the 2 holes in the back, so you can build up on it. All right. So as I said, you get a ton of these bases, which is really, because you get a lot of figures in this that you have to build, which we'll get to momentarily. So you get those bases, you get this, and you get that. Okay. Now, as I was saying, for underneath the bases, when you have to build them up, you have this type of thing. So this would go directly on the bottom of one of your bases. So your guy's been infected, and that'll tell you. And then if he gets infected again, you could put this in here. So you're building the base like that. And I guess when it gets to the final stage, put the blue, again, it's all explained to you. There you go. See? It should come off pretty easily overall. Nice. There you go. So again, you get a ton of these. I'll show you 2 up close. They are thin, so just be careful with them a little bit, because you don't want any of them breaking. But they do come apart pretty easily. So that's what they look like. Back sides. But they come in 2 colors. They come in blue and they come in red, as you can tell right there. Okay. So you get a bunch of those as well. Baggies ripped, so you're gonna have to get new baggies. They don't supply the extra baggies, so there you go. Then we also have some of our tokens as well. These I believe are your biospores. Looks like that's a big bag of them. I'm gonna try to get you to see the markings on it. It's hard. So maybe if I can, oh, maybe here I got this drink holder. Maybe you could see it better with that. Does that help a little bit? Outside of that? No. Oh, there you go. That'll help you a little bit. See it a little better. Trying to get you to see the imprint on it. There you go. That looks better. Put it this way. Yeah, better to see it that way. You can see the imprint a little better. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. Hopefully. But again, you get a ton of those, and here they are. Of your markers, so that's cool. So there you go. You get a nice case to hold them all in as well. Nice plastic tray. And to show you the box real quick. The box is really cool too. It's the main cover on the front of the game, but it's still a cool box. Artwork's really cool. Really well done. Really captures the theme. And that's the other side of the photo on the front cover, or I should say the artwork on the front cover, with the hideous strain creatures. Guy fighting for us. There's your side of the box. I don't see anything else. Nope, that's it. All right, so there you go. That's pretty cool, I gotta say, overall. Put in that box, put that box over there. You don't really need to see that too much. Put it in the frame. Put it in the back. And you get a deck of cards, and these cards are your character cards. Let me get another baggie over there for stuff. These are all your different character cards. Yep. Okay. So let's take a look. You got Captain Kara Black. She's the Vanguard commander. So let's see what's on these cards. So you got their attack, modifier, range, damage, and strength of the weapon. So plasma beam, detached meat blade, and Qatar pistol gives you the effects of them. Movement is 5, defense is 15. She has 12 damage you could take. So again, they say use a paper clip. If you have any of those extra little ones that are provided in other games, you can use those as clips, or you could put if you have a little block, you can put little blocks in there to do that. Those are not provided. None of that's provided for these, but. And on the back, it tells you trait, effect, displacement field, dauntless, close combat expert, reflex trigger, abilities, fire order, priority target, Kara's kiss, and effect. So there's your cards. All the cards are set up exactly the same. So you got Captain Kara Black, you got Corman Morgan Vade, Specialist Barker Zosa. Again, he's a Vanguard hero. Again, Specialist Barker Zosa, Vanguard hero. Interesting, they gave you 2 of the cards. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe for different point values, I'm not sure. You've got Operator Akosa Nama. Hurley Baston Mobile CIC, Vanguard Tactical, I guess, robot. There you go. Attack drone. And there's its wound track on the bottom again. A defense drone. That's cool. And you've got tokens for all these. This is cool. Sentry drone. We got some drones we could be using. That's cool too. I like that. Samaritan Grenadier, Vanguard Elite Trooper. Another one, again with the different poses. Samaritan Reaver, Vanguard Elite Trooper. Very cool. Elite Trooper. Samaritan Lancer, Vanguard Elite Trooper. 2 of those. Vanguard Trooper or Samaritan. So you get a card for every character that you have, which is cool. Then you've got a Samaritan Vanguard Trooper again, different model. It's cool, again, front and back. Same as the other ones. Samaritan Vanguard Trooper again. Now we move on to the strain. Scythonian Strain Phase S Meta Form. So again, let's take a look at this one a little closer. You got the attack, modifier, range, distance, and strength effects. Zone, AoE, blast, AoE, dark matter cannon, vector launcher, reaper tendrils, crushing step. This guy's got 30 wounds. Wow. 20 defense and 4. Again, you're rolling the d6s and you're adding the 8. So if you take the dice, let's say it's supposed to roll, hypothetically, let's just say he has, the damage is 8. You roll 8 die. And then you add the effect on it, or you add the 8 to the die roll. So if you get 6 dice, you roll 6 and you add the modifiers onto it. All right, that's how that works. And in this game here, I think it is, if you roll 6s, again, I watched a couple of videos on this. If you roll 6s on your D6s, you wind up, you get the ability to roll more dice. So that's gives and puts in more damage, which is pretty cool. So you got your trait, you got your effect. Again, you got all this stuff here. All right, then we got the Grendeler, strain phase 4 metaform. Okay, all the information on it is set up the same way as the other ones. You got Brimstone, strain phase 3 exoform. Scythe Witch, strain phase 3 exoform. That's cool. Quasimodo, strain phase 2 exoform. Again, what's cool about these strain characters is that they're constantly evolving, which gives you a lot of change to the game, which is cool because it means you're not just because he's a stalker right now. If the gas comes around and hits them, then they change into something that's even stronger. So during battle, that might change on you. So that's something that's a little bit concerning if you're a Vanguard player. So you got Stalker, strain phase 2 exoform. Okay. Got a couple of cards of those, a bunch of those. You got the Revenant. And your Revenant strain phase 1 necroform. Then you have Revenant strain phase 1 necroform as well. These guys are pretty durable too. I'm seeing 10 wounds, I'm seeing 10, I'm seeing 16 wounds, I'm seeing 30 wounds. So you got some really strong baddies in this game, which is pretty cool. Because sometimes the baddies can be pushovers. I'll see not in this game. So there you go. So you have your deck of, which is very cool that you got cards for your deck of good guys, which is the Vanguards. And you have your deck of cards for your baddies. So that's cool too. Each player would get one deck of these. So that's definitely very cool. All right, that helps you out with those. And of course, you get your little carrying case to keep those all in. Put that on the side over here. And last but not least, you have another box. Artwork is exactly the same as on the side's a little different. It's got the gun. Top and bottom are the same. So get this box open as well. Again, unlike other CMON games, these you have to assemble them. So let us, they're not taped up too much. Are they taped? No. They are taped still. So give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Again, off camera again. I want to open these, but I'm going to open them, but again, at the same time, if I slip with the knife, I don't want to see that on camera, so give me a second. The plastic on the holders, or the cases that they come in, it's a little bit thin, so I don't want to be careful when I'm cutting. So don't cut the tray itself. Nothing on the sides, that's good. Okay, so here, after I got that taken care of, here's our tray of figures that you get there. So you get a lot of different variations. I'll pick them up one at a time, just showing you them on the trays, the way they're in place. You get the bigger pieces up top. So it looks like you get two of these guys. So look at that. Again, you have to build them. Two of these guys. Nice detail, nice detail. I probably have to cut that out there. You get 1, 2, 3, 4 of these guys. in this box here. That's extra mold. You just got to cut that off. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these guys. It's like all you got to do with him is you just got to put him on a base. So you get 5 of those. You get 5 of these. Figures are decent. Definitely, they've gotten better over time with the way CMON with their molding and the larger figures. So these are kind of on a small size compared to what you have in a normal CMON game at this point, many years later. And then you have this bigger guy, which is, he's got 4 of him. I think you're gonna have to add something to him. I think you only got 1 arm here. I'm not sure. There's 1 arm. There's 2 legs, so I don't see. Oh, wait a minute. Well, this is his upper arm. I'm not sure. Maybe him. You just glue on. I've got to look at it to get more information. Again, there's good detail on the Mini, but again, they've gotten progressively better with the Minis as time has elapsed. And then you got 2 of these pieces. I'm not sure. Again, you have to look in the manual to see how these are put together. And you got 4 arms that look like this, or legs, I should say. So maybe this is, I'm not sure. Let's just go on here. Yeah, I'm assuming that goes on there like that, I'm assuming. Yeah, definitely fits right in there. See how that would go right in there? You can see the lines right up beautifully. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Again, you got to put them together a bit. So you get 2 bodies, 4 legs, it looks like, and then you get, I get 2 fronts, I guess, and 2 backs. I guess this would be in the front here somewhere, or in the back. These would go in the back probably. Yeah. So you connect that into here like so. Connect in there like that. Yeah. That's how that would work. Glue the other pieces arms on there, and you got them just like that. All right, cool. All right. So again, just to show you that, and you got 4 of these. So let me just show you those real quick. Let me show you those again real quick. Okay, you get 4 of those. You get 4 of those guys. You get 5 of those guys. 5 of those guys. All those just go right onto bases, which is cool. These guys, they got 4 of those. They go right onto a base as well. And these guys, you have to model up a little bit and fix them up. So that's your first tray of, and you got a protective case for the top as well. You should put those on this. They don't get around. So that's some of your minis that you get. And last but not least, we have our last tray, which I'll open up right now. Again, I'll do that off camera. Again, it's thinner plastic, so I don't want to cut the plastic. I just want to cut the tape that's holding it together. So give me a second. I'll have that done for you. All right. And that should slide right off, which it does. Okay, so there's your other top. And so we have our other legs out there. Let's put that back in there. Just to show you here real quick, so that you do have to build on this as well. Got a bunch of legs and different types of the Vanguard that you have here. And it's more the big guys. So again, I'm going to show you the best I can. So you get 2 legs that look like this. Get 4 legs that look like this. Again, with an X-Acto knife, you cut that, you scrape that off a bit there. All right. And obviously, this is the legs for this guy here. So you got to fit it in there somehow. All right. Let's see if we get a cleaner one. All right, get that. Yep, got the hole there where it goes. The legs go fit in. Okay, good. So you got 4 of those. You get an arm that looks like this. Another arm that looks like that. Bioweapon. This is for a strain creature that you're going to build in here. Here's the main body for that creature. I think it goes like that. Yeah, it goes like that. And you're going to have to build off of that. Okay. It also has like a little helmet here too. You have to put that on somewhere. All right. Get one of those. You get 2 legs. You get the 2 arms, and you get the torso itself. Then you get 5 characters of Vanguard troops that look like this. Okay. Get 5 of those. Get 5 of those. Get 5 of these guys. Again, you basically pop the arm and the gun onto there, and you're ready to go. You get one of this guy. You get the various. By which this is one that you have to really do. You got to put the head, the arm, and the leg on. It appears for this character here, where they got open slots where everything goes in. Okay. These are your main heroes, obviously. And here's this guy here who carries the big gun. So you're definitely gonna have to use an X-Acto knife and cut some of the excess on there, so that you have them, so everything will fit just perfectly. Not a big deal. Again, lots of room for the piece to fit on there, which is great. Good detail on the bodies themselves as well. Again, so it's going to take a little bit of time to put these together. You got the robot. You got the robot. And you got, looks like you got part of a head here. Oh, there's the other part. There's a little extra piece there. You're gonna have to cut that off. This is gonna go on here somehow. I'm not quite sure. So again, you got, oh, there it goes. Cut that off there. That, get your mold lines. That should fit in there just fine. Once you take that off, yep. So everything will seal nicely. Again, you're gonna just trim that off with an X-Acto knife. So again, these are just, I'm just showing you the pieces that are in here, because some of these you do have to do a bit of modeling to get them in there. And then you have this, which is you get 2 legs. You get 2 big arms. They're designed a little differently, which is cool. You got a tail you got to put on there. Looks like you got the head to put on there. So you got a lot of little pieces in here for your this big guy. So you have to do a little modeling there again. I think you have to probably clip that off, I'm assuming. Clip it off right there, there. Get that piece off there. I'm assuming that's what you got to do there. Again, look at the rules for putting them together. That should be there. And there you go. So again, I will show you so those are the arms and the legs for that creature right there. That makes the complete creature there. You need the arms, the torso, and the legs for the next creature. Again, There's the rest of the characters, and the top is where the alien, which I just showed you all the pieces. So that's where you have these guys again. I have to do some modeling to put those together, and let's put that over here. And last but not least, I have one other bag. This bag, I'm not going to pull everything out of there because it is, these are all the arms and guns and things of that nature that you would attach to different figures. Again, I'm not, this is really small stuff. Nicely detailed. I'll pull it up real close so you can see the arms of the guns. Usually when you purchase something like this, it's usually on sprues, and this it's already pre-cut, so it makes it a little easier for you. But again, very loose, very small, and can be lost very easily, so I'm not going to cut it open right now. So there you have it. You have your boxes of figures. You have 2 boxes of figures. You have your pieces for to model. Again, you have to do modeling for this game. That's here. You have your bases for your larger creatures, your bases for your normal creatures. You have your deck of cards for your Vanguard troopers. You have for your strain creatures. This is for when the gas affects them, where they're going to start changing. This keeps track of that. Spores for the actual gas that's going to be handed out there. This is just what one of the boxes looks like. This is the other box that comes along that keeps your figures inside. I'll put that on top of there as well so you can take a look at that as well. So you get 2 of those big boxes like that. Of course, you underneath this here, you get your rule book, you get your die, you get your tokens here, and of course right here, which I can't lift right now, you get 5 sheets of double-sided boards for your actual game. So this is everything that's included, and this concludes our unboxing, which is a little bit longer, and this of course again is our 900th video. So again, this concludes our unboxing of, and this is everything that's included in Sedition Wars, Infinite Space, Undying Terror, The Battle for Alabaster, brought to you by Stu McVeigh and Cool Mini or Not, or Simon as we love to call them. And there's the side of the box here, just to show you some of the creatures that we just talked about look like, and gives you an idea how to paint them up. And there you have it. Before I conclude our video today, I just want to say once again, thank you so much to everybody. I never thought I would have made this many unboxing videos in my life. It was something I kind of did out of whim, and now I just continue to do it because we have over 200 people who have subscribed to the page, which I'm thankful for each and every one of you. And of course, I also have now over 100,000 views on all the videos together, which makes me very happy as well that some people are actually watching this content, which is very surprising, and I'm just very, very happy that people are enjoying what I'm doing. And as long as you guys enjoy it, I'll continue to do it. And again, as you guys know, I don't everything that you see on all of my videos, it's purchased by me. I don't get any free stuff. It's when I find them in budget bins. Where I can get them for a cut rate price, that's where I pick them up from. And sometimes I pay a completely full price on everything as well, so it can get a little expensive at times. I'm not asking anybody for any money or anything else like that, but at the same time, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I am making them. So as long as you keep watching, I'll keep making them. As always, thank you so much for joining me for this unboxing video. It's truly appreciated. If you enjoyed it, you can always give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. You can also hit that subscribe button. This way you're kept up to date as to any time we release new content to the page. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Be safe, be well, enjoy the remainder of your day, and we'll catch you on the next unboxing video.